Well, I'm here to talk about boundaries a little bit today. I feel really enlivened by this topic so much because boundaries to me are like this magical key into having more safety, more fulfillment, and everything in our lives. And it's usually just one tool, and yet it's a tool that is so nuanced and we struggle with it a lot. So here's the thing that I wanted to share with you today. It's the top 5 reasons why you probably struggle with boundaries, because I definitely have. And number 1, it's because all of us have had bad experiences with boundaries, one way or another. Guaranteed that if you look back into your past, you've had one experience where setting a boundary caused somebody to get angry, or setting a boundary didn't have an impact at all because they completely bulldozed you. Because all of us have had negative experiences of boundaries setting in the past, it makes it so much harder for us to be able to do that today in real time. So check. What are some stories that I have about what setting boundaries will do? Number 2, one of the main reasons why we're afraid of boundaries is because we have a fear of disconnection. And this is a real fear. We all have the need for safety. We all have the need for connection. And one of the ways that we do that, one of our strategies for getting our needs met, is by not kicking up any kind of dissonance. So going along, being somebody who is a yes person that can like give people the thing that they ask for all the time, that is one of our key strategies to belonging and to feeling safe. And the ability to set boundaries requires us to be able to say no, to be able to counter what is happening in the moment. And that requires us to face that fear of, what if I speak up? Am I still going to belong? So that's a really scary thing. It makes sense that it's difficult to set boundaries. So that's 2. Bad experiences before, fear of disconnection. Number 3, and this is a really common theme. Oftentimes we don't set boundaries because we don't value our experience as much as we value the experience of others. So this is a worth thing. This is a self-worth thing. Oftentimes we mistakenly believe that other people and how other people feel and what other people need is more important than the thing that we do. And it's a very sneaky thought. It's a very easy way to be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to, like, sometimes we don't even realize that we didn't consider ourselves. We just automatically turn towards other people, put our attention on them, and make sure that they're okay. And then we forget to consider ourselves in the mix. Or if we do, we have the story, we tell ourselves that it's not as important as other people. So one way into really learning our way into boundaries is giving ourselves permission to have needs too. So ask yourself, do you give your permission to have needs? Or are you oftentimes prioritizing other people's needs over yours? It's okay to prioritize other people's needs. We need to do that oftentimes in our roles as parents, as leaders, as friends. It's great to be able to show up sometimes where we value what they need and like step aside for a moment. But if that's something that's happening all the time, it can create a large imbalance, and then you'll feel chronically starved for the thing that you need. So number 4, lack of skills. It's just that. Many of us have never been modeled what good boundary setting looks like. And many of us don't even know what's going on for us. So the skills are twofold. One of the skills for setting boundaries is the ability to notice ourselves, to notice, oh, this is not okay with me. Oh, I'm starting to get a little resentful. I think it's because I don't like what's going on. Like, that ability to notice takes a lot of practice and a lot of skill. So that's one of the skills needed. And another skill that's needed is the skill of speaking up. Being able to speak up, to disrupt something that's happening, to stop it from happening, to be able to name your needs, to be able to ask for somebody to adjust their behaviors. Those are skills. Those are communication skills that you don't just learn all of a sudden. You learn from having it modeled, and you learn from practicing. So that is something that you can always use help with. That's why I'm here. I'm here to teach you those skills. And number 5, this is the thing that people forget all the time, is FOMO, scarcity. How many times have you said yes to something, put it on your plate, put it on your calendar, taken on a new client, because you're afraid that if you turn that opportunity away, that you will not have, that you will lose something, you will lose out on something. I can think of how many clients I've said yes to that are not a good fit for me because I was afraid that if I turned that money away, that I would be turning money away, and then I would not have opportunities to make money again. How many times have I said yes to an offer of touch that I didn't really want because I really believed that that was all the touch that I could get? So scarcity, that's a really huge one. And the interesting about this list, right? Bad experiences, fear of disconnection, not being able to value ourselves, the lack of skills, and not having those things that get in the way of us setting boundaries. The really interesting thing is that when we do learn how to speak up for ourselves and our needs and advocate for ourselves, it kind of flips. All of a sudden, as we start practicing, we will start having good experiences with setting boundaries. I have so many good experiences of setting boundaries under my belt now that I know that good things come out of setting boundaries. So as you set boundaries, this is the thing that you will learn. As you set boundaries well, the fear of disconnection. I learned that as I set my boundaries, I actually get to have deeper, more authentic relationships with people in my life. And if I approach a connection that I have where it's feeling kind of icky and I'm not sure what it is, it's almost always a sign that I have to set a boundary. And when I do, all of a sudden my generosity comes back. I feel like I can really like them again. And so it's the opposite, actually. When we do set boundaries, it brings closer together. And then I have the honoring of the value of you and the value of me. And all of a sudden, needs just have more room to live. My needs and your needs. We feel more skillful. And number 5, get more abundant. As you learn to say no to things, as you learn to cut things away that don't work for you, as you learn to manage your time with respect to your whole self, with respect to all of your own needs, and draw boundaries around that, you will have more of the thing that you need and want. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Let me know what your specific kind of tripwire is when it comes to boundaries, and maybe I can make another video about that. Okay, thanks everyone. Take care.